So I got to go and work on that program on the administrative side. And so that experience there led to the person that was running that program. And he called me and said, "Do you want to come down?" At the time, I didn't even know what consulting was.
Russell Burgess is a veteran turned entrepreneur, leads REJ Solutions, a nationwide consulting firm, while mentoring veterans and building strong teams.
I was going down into a world that I had no knowledge of, but that's another thing the military does really well, is it equips us with the ability to make decisions with limited information. In the military, we never have all the answers. We have to take the limited information we have and make the decision. That was something that I took a risk. I jumped in, didn't know anything about it, and I'm okay with that too.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Van Ornum back with another edition of the Milpreneur Podcast, sponsored by Cynergists. Cynergists is your go-to scalable operations company that helps you grow exponentially faster at a fraction of the cost. Go check out Cynergist.com for more information. Today, I have with me Russell Burgess, decorated veteran turned entrepreneur, and I'm so excited to have you on the podcast. Russell, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Ryan. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Man, your transition has been pretty remarkable. I love seeing the growth that you've been through, and like that everybody goes through that transitional phase, from the military. And I'd love to hear, be able to share your story with the masses. So if you could just give that, like what'd you do in the military and how did you make that transition happen?
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it. So I spent 21 years and I went in 94 and spent 21 years. My first 7 was as an aircraft mechanic. So I worked as an A-10 mechanic. And then I wanted to go to school, and operations didn't necessarily support school at the time. And so I retrained into emergency management. So I worked in the command centers, and that was a great experience. Like working, I had the ground, like work boots, like hard maintenance work. And then I went into an office setting, was able to finish my degrees. And so I took advantage of the military education. And so I got my bachelor's and my master's. And then I got a Lean Six Sigma black belt certification. And so at the time, I didn't really know a lot about what Lean Six Sigma was. I later found out that all throughout industry, total quality management, all these different things all kind of are similar. But I got that certification. And when I retired in 2015, the state of Washington was, all of their state agencies had to have a lean program.
Wow.
And so the timing was really, really good. I had that skill set. I was retiring. The state was hiring a bunch of those people. And so I started my first job after the military with the Washington Lottery. And so I was the Lean Six Sigma program manager for. So we developed the Lean Six Sigma program, developed the training, doing projects. And I was there for about a year, and I got recruited over to the Department of Transportation. And they were setting up their program. And so I set their program up. And, I think, what the exposure that I got there was to the construction and to the infrastructure work. And so I spent some time up in Seattle. Obviously, in the military, there's not necessarily a smooth transition or a clear path to consulting or a clear path to another field that we may be interested in.
Right.
And I want to go back really quick to the transition. One of the things that I'm really passionate about, Ryan, and that I actually want to get more involved in is talking to military people who are transitioning in the transition assistance, because it's disappointing to me, because the amount of things that we don't know, we don't have exposure to all the opportunities that are out there. We typically are limited to the people we know in the military, their experiences, and then what the government tells us our options are. And I can still remember going through TAP class, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do because there wasn't a direct correlation between my work that I was doing in the military and the work. However, this goes back to your question about what is important and what the military teaches you.
Yeah.
The things that the military teaches you are, honestly, they're priceless on the outside, because the things that we take for granted in the military, being responsible, being dependable, getting work done, doing work well, being dedicated, those are not normal. Private sector, it's hard to find people like that. It's one of the things that's really been a huge benefit to me. There's all sorts of different sayings about it, but essentially the military is teaching you how to be a good person, how to be a good employee. and we take those, and it's especially good in consulting. So when I got that exposure to the construction, at the time they were finishing up the Big Berth, the tunnel under the city of Seattle.
Oh, wow.
And so I got to go and work on that program on the administrative side. That was where they were boring the big tunnel and all that stuff. And so that experience there led to the person that was running that program came to California, and he called me and said, "Do you want to come down?" And at the time, I didn't even know what consulting was because I didn't have exposure to it. And so I was going down into a world that I had no knowledge of. But that's another thing the military does really well is it equips us with the ability to make decisions with limited information that we have, and which is another skill set that most people in this private sector do not have. They want all of the answers before they decide. And,
Right.
in the military, we never have all the answers. We have to take the limited information we have and make good decisions. So, so that was something that I took a risk. I jumped in, didn't know anything about it, and like military teaches you to be confident. Every place we go new, we're starting brand new base, new rules, new things, new equipment. I mean, so it gets you. I'm okay with that change. I'm okay with, hey, you have to move here. The job is over here. So there's so many things core in the military gives you that really sets you up. And so when I came into the consulting world, I learned very quickly about how it all works and everything like that. And because all of those, and I'm not saying just because, but really to me, it's all of that base work that the military gave me, all of those key attributes that make good people employees. The military teaches you those things. And for the outside world that haven't experienced the military, who's done that for them?
Right. The soft skill side of the military is actually pretty underrated.
Way.
And then the other piece that the military like doesn't really teach you per se, but I found so many people learn is because we have pretty much like I would say at least 60% of like the jobs that are out there in the real world or the civilian side are microcosm inside the military, especially like Air Force and Army. So like
Yeah.
the ability to network, the ability to communicate with other like divisions and branches and organizations inside of the military has been a huge benefit for me when I got out, because now I can understand the operational side of stuff because it's like, all right, I was combat communications, so I had to communicate with like civil engineering. I had to communicate with security forces. I had to communicate with the operational side of stuff. Like it's so interesting that all of these little subdivisions, these smaller organizations, now it's taught me how to be able to build and scale outside of the military. Is that something that you learned as well?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I am in management consulting, but I focus in infrastructure. And so I work with a lot of civil engineers and engineers.
Yeah.
They are not typically, they are not necessarily extroverted people. They're very
What?
smart.
What? They're
I know,
super smart. They know every contract, but they can't talk to anybody?
yeah, yeah. So I find it. So you mentioned it. It's actually really really interesting because I'm in this niche space where I'm not an engineer. I don't build bridges. I've never been in
Right.
construction. But what I do is collaborate. I have the leadership skills. All of those things. So first off, I'm a big proponent of them. The Air Force was great to me. It gave me so much, but just in my life. I'm very grateful for it. They took care of me. So I'm a very
Yeah.
proponent for it. But they're teaching you all of these things that you don't get. These engineers, they need someone like us who can help bridge that gap, right? Like they're talking, and then I translate it to like this is what they need, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And you're right. That skill. These are the types of things that to me go unnoticed. And I hate to. I'm sorry if I'm jumping around, but I
You're
want to
good.
come back. Want to come back to the TAP class and do it.
Yeah.
It makes it so sad to me that we've got these military people. We're talking about some of the skills that they have when they leave, and it's just a byproduct of the environment. They're learning it whether they know it or not. And who's there to say, what do you want to do with yourself? Whether you've been in 420, doesn't matter, but you're going to leave with education. The world's your oyster. We've got all the knowledge you could possibly want. Like, who's telling people what opportunities are out there, And
the thing that I've learned so much, I'd rather take I feel bad for saying it, it's like almost like a dirtbag airman over someone from the civilian side a lot of times, because they still have the work ethic. Because even if they don't even know it, they know that they have to keep up with everybody else that's involved in the military.
Yeah. And that's my, like, they don't even realize it, but they're getting those skills just because of the environment.
Right.
And the collaboration and communication, if you're good at that, man, you can do, there's a lot you can do. So anyway, but that's important to me. I do want to get into where I can do tap classes with military. Yeah. I want to be almost like a motivational speaker where I go in and be like, there's so much out there we don't know about.
Yeah.
Right. Like, geez, man, we should be telling people, like, what are you interested in? What do you want to do? Because unless you're going to work at a federal government, like, there's often not a big transition in the private sector. There's not like a 1-for-1 apple to apples. It's like, you have to go. So when you're doing that, find something you want to do. Find something you're passionate about. I feel like when we're getting ready to, make that transition from the military into the private, I can still remember, I just want to get a government job and I want to make this, because that's what everyone's doing.
That's what everyone wants to do. I just want the cake job. Well, there's so much more out there for people.
I know. And so that's why that's one of the reasons why I'm passionate about it, because I literally am going, I see so many talented people. I'm not the smartest person that I know, but I work hard and I'm smart in the sense of understanding niches and opportunities, and I'm willing to take risks. And so I think that there's an opportunity for all the military folks as they're transitioning to take a step back, throw out what they were specifically doing, unless that's what they really want to do, but assess what is good for what do they want for their life? What are they going to enjoy? Work doesn't have to be I'm clocking in at 8 and clocking out at 5 or 4, and I did my hours. Like, we can enjoy our work. And I'm in a fortunate situation because I love this work. I love the interaction, the people. So, so let me get back. I apologize. So then I moved to California as a consultant, and I was kind of being promoted through the company I was with. And I worked directly at this time, I was working directly for the program director. So the program director is the person that oversees the entire operation. And so I was working directly for him, and we were doing one of our normal mentoring sessions. And he says, you can do what I'm doing. And this is the other reason why for the TAP class, you can do what I'm doing. I said, Daniel, I can't, I'm not an engineer. He said, Russell, I haven't done engineering for 30 years. I manage the people that do engineering.
Yeah.
You're a leader, you manage, you can do what I do. And so I left that session for the first time going, maybe I can do it, because somebody gave me that positive affirmation, like, you can do this. So I went back and I said, what can I do because in this world, clients are buying your expertise or your education. Like, what are you selling them? We're selling them intellectual property. We're saying, I've got this experience. So I'm going, what can I get that will make me more marketable?
Yeah.
And so a couple of days later, I came back, said, I want to do the construction management certification course at UCLA. So,
nice.
So the company paid for that. I got my construction management certification. 6 months later, the client said, we want you to go down and run $1 billion project.
Wow.
And I said, I very great, appreciate, but I said, I will do it. But I want you to know I've never done it before. I've done the training, but they said, we trust you, we believe in you, go down. So I did, and I loved it. That was probably one of my favorite jobs. I was on the actual construction site, managing the schedules with the contractor, and you see the work being done, right? So it's very rewarding. I always tell people, you could be in a headquarters spot and it's like a hamster wheel. You get into work, at the end of the day, you're like, did I even accomplish anything? So when you're down in projects, you're seeing the stuff that you're making decisions, you're pushing things, and you're actually seeing something's being built. And then when you get the satisfaction of, oh, this is done. Look at that. So it's a really interesting deal. So when I was leaving, WSP's contract was coming to an end. And so I was originally slotted to go to Dallas, and I was going to run the DART Silver Line extension. So Dallas Area Rapid Transit has I think it's a $1.8 billion project going on. It's a light rail extension from Dallas Fort Worth to Plano, Texas.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I was going to be running that. They're building it right now. So I was going to be the program director for that one. And then I got an opportunity to be the chief operating officer for a California engineering firm that has about 400 people, an amazing firm. I love the firm, but I got visibility into the back end of the business and realized I could create a product that really takes into account, like, we want to be something different. So we pay 99% of healthcare. We would have done 100, but if you do 100, everyone has to have healthcare. I don't need healthcare. We have quite a few people, so we pay 99% of healthcare because the Air Force always took care of me. I did not have healthcare as a kid, but since I was 18 years old, I've always had healthcare.
That's super cool, man.
So I want to be able to take care of that. I've been in this industry where I feel oftentimes the bigger companies, profit is the key. Like
Yeah.
profit, and I got it. I argue we can do both. We can make money and we can take care of people. We could create an environment like what we experience in the military oftentimes, where we almost like family, where you are in a unit and you have, like, these people you work with them. And it's not like that in the private sector. It's one of the biggest changes. When you're in the military, all those people you work with, you become close with.
Yeah.
In the private sector, you go in, you leave, you might not even talk to them at all.
Yeah.
The majority of people, and so I want to create something, to me, where people feel wanted and appreciated, and we can pay people well, can give them good benefits, and still make money. So, I almost looked at it like they treated it like a zero-sum game. It's like money, money, money. And again, I understand it. They took care of me, but it's one thing. It's like if I see someone being nice to me, but they're a jerk to everybody else, they're probably a jerk and I'm the exception,
Sure.
So we, excuse me. And so that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, almost all of these contracts have requirements for disabled veteran businesses. And so there's a niche there. But I also have been in contact with different contractors that their contract says they have to hire disabled veteran businesses, and they'll actually go out and hire a disabled veteran business to do, like, they just have to spend the money, right? And I've just said, I want to be the disabled veteran business. I want that to be, oh, and by the way, we're a disabled veteran business. I want them to seek us out because we have good people, we run things well, and we're going to be good partners. This is to me, this is one of the things in the military. Like, I know the effort that a prime contractor goes through to manage subcontractors. And I want my company to be one that they do not have to worry about, because people like easy. And so if I can make their life easy, they will want to work with us. So that's kind of what we're doing. But let's go back really quick to when I made this transition. So I had a decision to make. I was a chief operating officer for a firm, and I was making very good money. And I had a previous client that I would worked with in the past reached out and said, "Hey, you should start your own firm. We'll give you a contract." And I said, "Well, I should let me think about it." And I thought, well, I'm 49. I thought to myself, I ain't getting any younger. And I've got built relationships. I was doing no one in their right mind would have done it, Ryan, might I add, because what I was making, to walk away from that, was probably like, and when it's all said and done, it's going to be a great decision. But in all rationale, like if you were to draw it out on it, you'd be like, ain't worth it. But you know what? I mean, it's been so much fun. I've learned so much. One of the things that has really stood out to me is how opening and welcoming other small businesses are to you. So they've all been through what you're going through, and their willingness to support has been really surprising to me. So I had a small business that helped me get everything set up. They helped me get incorporated, certified, they help with all of it. And so you have to sometimes you have to just take a leap. When we're retired military, we do have a little bit of a benefit where we do have a little bit of money coming in. So you take that chance. But I didn't realize how much I didn't know until I started doing it. But as with everything, this is another thing the military teaches you. Military teaches you that you're not going to have all the answers all the time. You're going to have to figure things out. That's what we're doing when we work with clients. Clients, if they knew the answer, they'd do it.
Absolutely.
They want us to think of how can we get this done? Because sometimes there's not a clear path to the end. And so we have to come in and we have to do that for them. And that's something the military teaches you, because how often do they give you a task and go, this needs to be done? Like, okay. So that's
I absolutely love this, dude. I mean, you got this great passion for what you're building here, and you're giving back to the disabled vet and the veteran communities. It's amazing, like the growth that you have, and I love to see where it's going to go in the future, man. You got a ton of stuff going on, so I love that, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's been amazing.
Awesome, man. Well, let's jump in. We got time for a little bit of rapid fire questionings.
I'm here. I got you, Brian. Whatever you need, sir. I'm here.
Awesome, man. This is going to be a little bit more about like getting to know Russell the person. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So, are you reading any books right now? Like, what's your book that you're reading right now?
Yeah. So what I should know is right off the top of my head what those are. But what I do, Ryan, is I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So
Nice.
me and Audible, I have over 100. So right now, the one I've been listening to is the Consulting Bible.
Oh, nice.
So because I'm always trying to okay, where are my
Yeah.
for my work? But what I'm really passionate about in terms of like what do I typically read most and listen to are leadership books. So Extreme Ownership, When the Moon Hatched, Explosive Growth, Organizational Culture, Next Five. So professional development is something I'm always reading because you realize the older you get how little you know, and so I just really enjoy it. Those are the things that I think help define us. You need to really get better and always thinking about it. So
Love it, man. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
well, lately I've been an early bird and a night owl, but I'm traditionally an early bird. I like to wake up early, get things knocked out. I always tell people I get more done before you guys get to work than you guys will get it the rest of the day.
Exactly. And usually that's the military saying has a couple 4-letter words in there that's a little bit more choice. I love it, bro.
Yeah.
Are you a coffee, tea, soda, energy drink, water? What are you drinking?
Well, I don't want to get too much scrutiny here, but energy drinks.
No, you're good. You're good.
Everybody always says, you need to stop drinking them.
Hey, that's the military, and that's a little C4, bro.
That's exactly right.
You gotta, hey, if my heart's not exploding, I'm gonna keep on moving.
Yeah, that's right.
So, like, do you have a bucket list travel spot that you want to go to still?
Yeah. So, when I was younger in the military, I traveled to Europe, and I went to Sicily and Germany and England and Portugal, but when I was there, I didn't see.
Yeah.
I was young, and we were not interested in a museum. And so I look back now, being older, going, I want to go back and actually be a tourist, like just see the sights in Europe. When I go over to Europe, it reminds me how young we are in the US.
Oh,
because, you go to Philadelphia or back east and it's like, oh, this stuff's so old, it's so cool. And then you have stuff over in Europe that's like 1,000 years older than that.
Right.
So it's almost like a time to me when I was driving over there, I felt like it was almost like a time capsule where it's like, holy crap, there's a rock fence that's probably been here for 1,000 years.
I know, it's super cool, man.
Yeah.
If you were a superhero, what would be your one superpower?
Ooh. So if I were a superhero and I could have one superpower,
yeah,
it would be to read people's mind. And the reason
telepath.
And the reason why was because then I could know what people need.
Nice.
You think about
using it for good.
I talk about interactions with people, and I tell my kids this. They're 16 and 14-year-old boys, and I interact with, even at work, I tell people, every interaction that we have can have a positive or negative impact on people. And everybody, no matter where you're at, what walk of life, we all have the same challenges, right? We all have the same worries. And So for me, I try to be very empathetic, understand where people are coming from. My paychecks when I was in Korea, 1994 and 95, $200
Right.
for a month. So
Yeah.
I know I've been there, right? And so, I try to take all of that stuff into consideration, understanding that, I have a I am a positive person, and when I go out and I'm at work, you would think that I've got everything is just perfect because you would never know, right? But I'm a small business owner. It
Yeah.
is stressful.
Yeah.
You're chasing work. You have people that are depending on you. But I realize I know there's people out there that look fine that are struggling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make that interaction count. So I would love to be able to read people's minds, and then I could hopefully use that in a good way.
Very cool, man. What's on your workout playlist right now?
Boy, I tell you what, a lot of Zach Bryan.
There you go.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen, Zach Bryan, Chris Stapleton. That's kind of been the flavor of the most recent past.
Very cool. And do you have a favorite cheat meal?
Well, I love dessert. I love
There you
dessert.
go.
But I think my favorite cheat meal is red vines. I love red vines.
Nice. Good call on that one, man. Good job, man. You made it through some rapid fire questions, man. I appreciate you.
No, I thank you, Ryan. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Absolutely. Hey, if people are interested in your services or getting to know you as a person, like how can they get a hold of you, man?
Yeah, so we're a firm based out of California, but we're nationwide, and we do management consulting, everything from project management, program management, document control, process improvement, business engineering, organizational development. Like we do a whole bunch of stuff, but you can visit our website. It's www.rejsolutions.com. I will definitely share my contact information, Ryan. I also would encourage if you have a listener that is interested in learning more about the industry, please shoot me a note on LinkedIn or an email. I love talking about this stuff because I'm passionate about it. And so if somebody's interested in learning about it, even if it's just to kind of say, hey, what is that? I would love to talk to them. So please feel free to share my information for my email and my phone number. I'd love to help if somebody wants to talk to them. And then I'm always recruiting. Always recruiting.
I love it,
Always
man.
selling and always recruiting. So if somebody's interested, definitely reach out. We'll talk to you and we'll see what if there's any fits. You mentioned it before, Ryan. If you can get prior military people, they are amazing employees. And
Absolutely.
so if we can find those types, that's our preference.
Man, I couldn't have asked for a better time with you, sir. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the Milpreneur Podcast today, man. Thank you so much for being a part of it.
My pleasure, Ryan. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Once again, Ryan Van Ornum with the Milpreneur Podcast, powered by Cynergists. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. Really appreciate you. Like, commenting, and subscribing on these videos. And until the next one, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.